Welcome to my channel. In the quiet hum of his high-tech lab, Tony Stark was tinkering with a new kind of core reactor. Suddenly, a strange alert popped onto his holographic screen. Energy surge detected, unknown source, ocean coordinates 0N0E. Tony blinked. That was the exact center of the Earth's ocean. Nothing was supposed to be there. Stark quipped, "Another Tuesday, another mystery to solve." And with that, he suited up as Iron Man and launched into the sky. Soaring above the endless blue waves, Iron Man followed the energy surge. As he approached, the clouds parted, revealing not water, but an island covered in sparkling metal parts, blinking gadgets, and rusted robots. Some were half buried in vines, others frozen mid-air like a dancer. Iron Man had never seen anything like it. As soon as he set foot on the beach, the ground buzzed with activity. Gears turned, pistons pumped, and curious eyes flashed open. A small robotic squirrel rolled up to him, chirping excitedly. "Help, broken." "Forget," it squeaked, gesturing to itself and the island with a tiny paw. It took Iron Man only seconds to realize this place wasn't just an island. It was a scrapyard, a graveyard of forgotten inventions. All around him, machines stirred. Some were friendly, like the mechanical kitten batting playfully at his feet. Others looked dangerous, like the armed robot dog growling with a broken voice box. But the most shocking discovery was in the sky. There, hanging upside down from a tree branch, was a flying car, its engine sputtering smoke. And then Tony saw him, a man in an old diving suit struggling to steer the vehicle. "Hold on," Iron Man called, shooting a repulsor blast to steady the car. With a jolt, the flying machine landed. Its driver slumped out, exhausted. "Are you okay?" Iron Man asked, holding out a hand. "I don't remember," the man stammered, looking around in confusion. "Who am I? Where am I?" Iron Man frowned. It seemed this place wasn't just filled with forgotten gadgets, but people too. People who had lost their memories. The little robot, who introduced himself as Chippy, explained everything. Many years ago, this island was home to the Greatest Inventions convention. All the latest and greatest creations were displayed here until one day, disaster struck. A freak accident caused everyone to faint, their memories to vanish. And since then, only the machines remained conscious. For years, they waited, hoping someone would return. And now Tony found himself in the middle of a mystery. How could he help these poor souls regain their memories? He started by walking through the jungle, stopping at every invention, listening to their stories, and offering a helping hand. One device told him about its dream of delivering delicious meals all around the world. Another spoke of its wish to capture stunning images of faraway planets. Each gadget had a purpose, a dream. Each had been abandoned and forgotten. There was the hoverbike, stuck halfway up a mountain, dreaming of soaring through the clouds. The deep-sea explorer, trapped in a cave, longing to discover new species of fish. And even a tiny remote control helicopter, buried under leaves, wishing to fly again. All these inventions had been left broken and lost, forgotten like old friends. Yet even in their broken state, they hadn't given up. Each held on to their hopes and dreams. But as the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the island, Tony knew he had to hurry. If he wanted to help these inventions, he needed to find the source of the blackout, and fast. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the jungle. Rushing to the sound, Iron Man found the cause, a large hole in the ground and a badly damaged orb lying inside. This was the island's main power core, the one that kept everything running smoothly. But now it was damaged. If they couldn't repair it, the island would remain stuck in its time warp forever. Examining the core closely, Tony noticed a tiny crack running along its surface. It was so small, he'd probably missed it during the flight over. But just then, dark clouds rolled in, covering the sky. Lightning flashed, illuminating the worried faces of the Inventions. One of them cried out, "The storm! It's coming back. We have to do something." Quickly, Iron Man flew up to the core, stabilizing it with his arc reactor. He focused all his power into the small crack, welding it shut. But the storm was relentless. Lightning after lightning struck the core, threatening to break through his repairs. Using his suit's sensors, Tony analyzed the energy flow, rerouting it through his arc reactor. He built makeshift power cells from scrap metal and vines, channeling the energy away from the core. Working quickly, he connected cell to cell, building a network to stabilize the orb. Just as the last bolt of lightning faded, the cells were complete. The island glowed with renewed energy. Lights blinked on. Machines whirred and cheered. Even the armed robot dog wagged its tail, its growls now friendly. The man who had flown in on the car approached Tony. "Thank you," he said, his eyes shining. "I remember now. I'm Finn. This was my dream, to create a car that could fly." He looked around at the other inventions. "And this is our dream, to share our inventions with the world." Together, they stood watching as Iron Man fixed the plane, teaching its pilot how to take off again. He helped the deep-sea explorer reach the ocean, where it discovered a whole school of colorful fish. And he rebuilt the tiny helicopter, laughing as it zoomed through the air. Finally, the little robot, Chippy, approached Tony with a tiny deer. "Here," it squeaked, handing it to him, "for remembering us." Iron Man understood. This was their core memory, the most important part of their being. They had entrusted it to him, their savior. As the sun rose, painting the sky with vibrant colors, Iron Man prepared to leave. Before taking off, he placed the gear next to his first ever Iron Man glove, a symbol of his journey from a young inventor to a hero. Back in his lab, surrounded by the familiar sights and sounds of home, Tony reflected on his adventure. The forgotten island had taught him more than he could have imagined. Looking at the tiny gear and the old glove, he realized that even the smallest sparks could still shine brightly. These inventions, though forgotten, had never lost their purpose. And sometimes all it takes is a little care and remembrance to let them shine again. And a smile touched his lips. He might be known for his flashy new tech, but there was always room to appreciate the past. After all, the future was built on the lessons of yesterday. Turning back to his work, Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, continued tinkering, driven by a newfound appreciation for the forgotten sparks that had changed his life forever. And that's the end of our story. What did you think? Did you enjoy coming on this exciting adventure with Iron Man and listening to the stories of the forgotten inventions? Well, if you did, make sure to show us by giving this video a thumbs up. And hey, if you want to hear more awesome stories like this one, subscribe to our channel. We've got plenty more adventures waiting for you. So join us and let's explore the amazing world of stories together. Before we go, let's think about the moral of this story. It's a reminder that caring for the past can light the way to the future. Just like Iron Man helped the forgotten inventions rediscover their purpose, we too can find inspiration in history and tradition. It's a great feeling to look back, learn from the past, and carry those lessons forward. So keep an eye on those old gadgets and memories, because they might just hold the answers you're looking for. Thanks for joining us today. And remember, until next time, keep sparking those brilliant ideas and caring for what matters. See you later.